Gaya's Grove, where we explore the interconnectedness of all living beings and the wisdom that can be found in nature. I'm your host, Jonathan Thompson. In this episode, we'll embark on a journey to a mystical community nestled deep within the Whispering Woods, a place where ancient trees whisper secrets to the wind and creatures roam free. We'll delve into their daily worship practices, learn about their reverence for personal deities, and explore the wisdom that resides within. In the heart of the Whispering Woods, where ancient trees whispered secrets to the wind, and creatures of the forest roamed free, there lived a community of people who revered their personal deities and honored their ancestors through daily worship. The villagers believed that every living being possessed a unique essence, a spark of divinity that connected them to the universe. They recognized that plants and animals were not just mere objects, but sacred beings that held wisdom and power. In return for sustenance and protection, they showed respect and gratitude to these natural world deities. In the morning, as the sun rose over the treetops, the villagers would gather at the heart tree, a majestic oak adorned with feathers, shells, and other trinkets left by generations of ancestors. They would share stories of their personal deities, whispers they heard in the forest, and tales of ancient wisdom passed down through their families. The first to speak was Alara, a young woman with hair as black as the night sky and eyes that shone like stars. She knelt before the heart tree, her hands clasped together in reverence, and began to chant, "O wildflower woman, guide us on our path as we weave the tapestry of life. May your petals bloom in our hearts, and your wisdom illuminate our journeys." The villagers joined in, their voices weaving a symphony of praise and gratitude. They spoke of the ancient trees that sheltered them, the creatures that shared their homes, and the sacred plants that healed their bodies. Next was Jax, a burly man with arms as strong as oak branches and eyes that twinkled like the forest floor. He recounted tales of his encounters with the Forest King, a powerful deity who ruled over the land and its secrets. Jack spoke of the lessons he learned from the king's whispers in the wind. May our steps be light, like the first spring rain, and may our hearts be open to the wisdom we gain. For in the silence we find the power to heal, and in the stillness we discover the secrets that reveal. As the villagers finished their individual prayers, they shared a collective offering of food, drink, and handmade crafts. The feast was a celebration of abundance, where every plate held a portion of gratitude for the land's bounty. In the afternoon, the villagers dispersed to tend to their daily routines. Some practiced herbalism, infusing the forest's wisdom into remedies. Others hunted or farmed, honoring the cycles of life and death. Children played in the sun-dappled glades, chasing fireflies and listening to tales of the ancient ones. As dusk descended, the villagers gathered once more at the heart tree. This time, they shared stories of their ancestors, who had lived in harmony with nature for generations. They spoke of the elders' wisdom, passed down through oral traditions, and the lessons learned from their experiences. One story stood out, that of the village's founder, a wise woman named Akira. She had walked the land, listening to the whispers of the forest, before settling in this sacred place. The villagers remembered her words, "Respect the power within all beings, for it is the spark that ignites our souls. Honor your personal deities and ancestors, for they are the threads that weave the tapestry of our hearts." As the moon rose high in the night sky, the villagers dispersed to their homes, carrying with them the wisdom and gratitude shared throughout the day. In their dreams, They communed with their personal deities, seeking guidance for the challenges ahead. The next morning, a young girl named Lyra approached the heart tree, her eyes shining like dew on the grass. She had lost her way in the forest, searching for the ancient wisdom she sought to understand. As she reached out to touch the heart tree's trunk, she heard a soft whisper. Lyra, child of the forest, your heart is pure and your spirit is bright. Seek not wisdom from afar, for it resides within your own soul's light. The villagers gathered around her, their faces aglow with understanding. They shared stories of their own encounters with the whispers in the wind, reminding Lyra that she was never alone. Together they wove a tapestry of unity and connection to the natural world. As the seasons passed, the villagers continued to honor their personal deities and ancestors. They learned to listen to the forest's whispers, and their hearts became attuned to the rhythms of nature. The land flourished under their care, as did their own souls. As Lyra grew older, she became a respected elder in her community, known for her wisdom and compassion. One day, as she sat at the heart tree, listening to the whispers of the forest, she realized that it was time to pass on her knowledge to the next generation. She called upon the villagers to gather around her once more, this time to share the stories of their personal deities and ancestors with a new purpose. Lyra explained that as they had learned to listen to the whispers in the wind, so too must the younger generations learn to tap into their own inner wisdom. The villagers nodded in agreement, knowing that it was time for them to take on a new role, that of guardians of the forest's secrets and keepers of the ancient traditions. As one, they pledged to continue honoring their personal deities and ancestors, even as they welcomed new members to their community. As the sun set on this special day, Lyra stood before the heart tree, her eyes shining like stars in the night sky. She raised her hands to the heavens, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the ancient oak. "Oh, wildflower woman," she whispered, "we thank you for guiding us on our path. May your petals bloom in our hearts, and may your wisdom illuminate our journeys." The villagers echoed her words, their voices weaving a symphony of gratitude and devotion. And as they dispersed to their homes, they carried with them the knowledge that they were not just guardians of the forest's secrets. They were also keepers of their own inner light. Years passed, and the community continued to thrive under the guidance of Lyra and her fellow elders. The villagers grew stronger, wiser, and more connected to the natural world than ever before. And as they looked up at the stars on clear nights, they knew that they were not alone, for in the whispers of the forest, they had found their own inner light, guiding them on their path. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Gaia's Grove and join our community of like-minded individuals who are exploring the deeper connections between nature, culture, and spirituality. And if you want to get a hold of me by email, I will have it in the description down below.